Môre raadslede. Môre raadslede, kan julle my almal hoor? Thurston?
Goeiemôre speaker, ek kan jou duidelik hoor. Johan,
Baie dankie. Ek wil net seker maak dat daar geen twyfel is van vanoggend se vergadering, dat mense nie kan luister of hoor nie.
speaker, was ons nie veronderstel om 9:00 te begin nie?
Nee, ek weet, maar ek is mos 'n vroeë persoon. Ek maak seker ek is ingelog en met klank werk en my mikrofone werk en dan kan mense nie omdraai en sê ek het nie ingelog nie. So ja, nee, ek is 100%.
Nee, maar of begin ons eers 10:00 vanoggend? O ja, ek sien nou hy sê 10:00. Nee,
Ja,
is reg.
dit begin 10:00, ja.
Nee, is reg speaker, dankie hoor.
Nee, dis doodreg.
Môre kollegas, ek hoop dit gaan goed met julle.
Môre, Raadslid, hoe gaan dit?
Nee, dit gaan beter met my, ek kan nou inlog. Gister was dit nog 'n gestoei om die rekenaar reg te kry, maar
Ja, ons moet gewoond raak daaraan, né? Thurston, are you there? Thurston, are you there?
Speaker, ek dink hy's net gou vinnig uit op 'n call, ek sal hom gou gaan soek.
Okay, nee, daar's net 'n probleem. Raadslid Mia sê hy kan nie die link kry op sy Teams nie.
Daar's dit Neus.
Korrek, ja, hy het nou net vir my gekontak en sê hy kry nie die link op sy kalender nie, wat vir my baie vreemd is. So miskien kan iemand net vir hom gaan wys waar is die Teams link op die kalender asseblief.
Ons kan gou die link net vir hom miskien sommer weer e-pos, maar ek sal kyk daarna.
Asseblief, dankie, ek sal dit waardeer.
Morning, Speaker. Good morning, colleagues.
Morning.
Goeiemôre collega's, ek sien van ons is lekker vroeg ingelog. Alles wat mooi is vir die dag en sterkte met vandag se vergadering. Goeie dag vir julle.
Dankie Chief Hoop. Neem so aan en dit gaan ja, die laaste vergadering vir 2021, kan jy glo. Sorry, is there anyone from IT available, please?
Good morning, speaker. Certain units on IT present.
Jacques de Pre van IT teenwoordig.
As iemand net vir Rasit vir Nias in die hande kan kry asseblief, ek sal dit waardeer. Hy kry nie die link nie, so laat ons dan nie die vergadering ophou vir links wat missing is nie asseblief. Het IT so ontvang?
So maak.
Alleen, môre ek sien jy's daar, so as ek op die regte link nou in.
Welkom Rasit Nias. bly dat jy kon inkom. Rasit Meas, het jy my gehoor?
Layout en clear speaker, dankie. Die goed kom outomaties op. Ek moet nog leer, maar gaan regkom hoor. Moenie worry nie.
Ja, ons vergewe jy raak oud.
Vra die ou man.
Voor die vergadering begin, Rasit Meas, wil ek jou net gelukwens met jou toekenning. Ek hoor jy is van die top 10 begrafnisondernemers in die land. Jy is nogal seker besig met al jou besighede, as ek dit so kan stel. Maar ja, geluk met jou toekenning.
Baie dankie speaker. Ja, gelukkig het dit 'n bietjie afgeskaal, so ek het niks COVID meer nie, maar ja, dit was so moeilik. Dit was 'n baie moeilike jare gewees, maar dinge gaan nou baie beter en rustiger. Dankie.
Speaker,
Go ahead.
jy moet net computerklasse gaan nou. Net so goed as wat hy in sy besigheid is.
Ja, nee, ek stem saam daarso. Ek dink volgende jaar gaan ons vir al die raadslede week bietjie die wat nou nie wil of wat nog nie computer literate is nie, dat ons maar op kursusse stuur dat ons hulle kan opbeer en regkry vir die raadsvergaderings, want dit lyk my nie dit gaan baie vinnig verander nie.
Dus Jean, ek sit na jou toe kom vir 'n kursus, hoor.
Ja, Marlene is baie trots op my Marlene is baie trots op my vir die feit dat ek so vinnig geleer het. Hulle sê jy leer mos man, jy steel my jou oor. So ja, jy kan kom.
Speaker, ek is nou deur mekaar. Wat sê jy gaan ons opbeer deur vir ons kursusse te gee? Wat beteken dit? Ons gaan almal aan die lag gaan because om iemand op te beer beteken dat jy gaan ons laat lag en ons vrolik maak en sulke.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry, my Afrikaans let me down there.
I thought I could get you out on that one.
Yeah, I am an Englishman, so at least I'm trying to speak Afrikaans sometimes. But yeah,
now would you rather put it in English because it sounds better.
Okay, well,
you're gonna dance while he's doing the course.
We'll make sure that everyone get used to their computers because, unfortunately, that is the way forward. We're in the revolution of IT at the moment. So yeah.
Ja, jy gaan ons toerus met kennis. Jy gaan ons nie opbeer nie, maar jy gaan ons toerus met kennis.
Dankie vir die les in Afrikaans. Ek waardeer.
En jy gaan vir ons dans, né?
Nee, ons los dit vir jou. Jy pas beter in daai ene. Môre almal.
Morning.
Morning, Charlotte.
Môre counselor.
Hallo julle.
Morning, colleagues. I just saw that there's a message that popped up that we're in the incorrect meeting with the incorrect link. Can our ladies from committee services just confirm that we're in the right meeting, please?
Good morning, Chief Whip. I've noted that some of our colleagues are in the caucus meeting from yesterday. So I've just posted on that group that they're in the wrong meeting.
Okay, they're in the wrong meetings. Thanks very much, bro, and thanks for that.
Chief Whip, this is definitely the right meeting, I can assure you.
Colleagues, then you need to help us. Please phone in those who are in the wrong meeting. Thank you.
Hello, Amal.
This is Chief Whip. This is now again a case of, we've replied and we've RSVP, so that link that was originally sent to us went missing, like you said the other day, and I couldn't find the new link. So, and then we get emails to say that, please remember that you've got a council meeting and whatever, and Steph Naya sent us the meeting link on that and that day, and then you go back and you can't find anything. Ek weet nie hoekom sukkel ons administrasie nog met die goede nie.
I suggest that you meet with IT and then they can assist you, because once you accept, it should be in your calendar.
And also on your team's calendar. That is the most important. On your team's calendar, it says the special council or the caucus or whatever. So that is where you basically will find the meeting links the easiest once you've accepted it.
Yeah, no, you're quite right, Sean. As the other calendar basically tells you that there is a meeting, but there's no link on your Outlook calendar. There's no link attached to that calendar. So you have to go to the Teams calendar. But that is confusing.
Correct, but yeah, once you get used to using your Teams calendar to join meetings, it should be quite easy. Councillor Fichland, we're not in the meeting yet. I see your hand is up, but you don't need to put up your hand. This is basically before the meeting. We've got another 5 minutes. Councillor Raven Fichland, I see your hand is up.
Speaker, no. Let me lower this hand.
Okay, that hand is lowered. Thank you very much.
Speaker.
Yes, somebody's calling for me.
Yes, it's Luvoyo here, Councillor Luvoyo.
Yes.
I think our colleagues are struggling. I also struggling. If on the Teams calendar you try to log take the time.
Councillor Camille, there seems to be, you're all in one location, if I'm not mistaken, because I can hear an echo. The rest of the people, I suggest that one of the computers has the volume up and the others put their volumes or their headphones on or something to that effect. Otherwise, it's not going to work, or they must sit further apart. We have asked that everybody uses their own computer. I understand that. If there is a problem, you're welcome to get hold of IT. They are on, yeah. Just send them a message on the Teams link and ask which councillors need to be added onto this, which ones haven't been joined yet. Alderman Gericke.
Yeah, Speaker, morning, colleagues. I've noted the Chief Whip sent a request that the ANC has set. It's from 5.9 to 5.14. We must then deal with it as one item. I want to ask you, is there a possibility that we can deal with all the 106s also as one item? Because essentially, some of the recommendations are similar. Just a request.
I'll take under advisement. There are different recommendations, Alderman, as far as I've seen. there are alterations to the recommendations. So we can go through them individually with the recommended recommendations. That's going to be the easiest way. Unfortunately, we can't do it all the same for that instance, but the other ones are pretty much the same. Does that answer your question, Alderman?
Yeah, it's fine. I differ slightly with you there, but it's fine. It's a ruling. Thank you.
Alderman, we're not actually in council at the moment. It'll only start in 2 minutes, but that's fine. We can discuss it during the meeting as well. It's not a problem.
Then can I just ask, just before you start the meeting, Mr. Speaker, to the Chief Whip, on the speakers list, you have a different, amount of minutes, if you like, and on the note that you've sent us, there's also, a different set of minutes. On your mail that you've sent us, 11 minutes, and on the speakers list, we've been afforded 16 minutes. So I see that the minutes have been altered now. We only have 10 minutes. Can the Chief Whip just enlighten us on that, please?
Councillors, I'm going to have to ask that we stop all discussions at this stage because we are logged into YouTube and everything we discuss now is going out live. So I would prefer it if we kept it cordial and we discussed everything offline and wait until the meeting starts. Thank you very much. Good morning, councillors. It's now 10 o'clock and I just want to find out from corporate if we are a quorum before we go ahead. Committee services, can somebody let me know? Are we a quorum?
Up until now.
Sorry, repeat that, please, Rosemary.
35. Speaker, yes, if I can confirm, we are a quorum, but you're obviously going to be doing the attendance register now.
Correct. Before we do the attendance register, could I just please ask Councillor Johan de Toy to open for prayer so we can go ahead with the necessary arrangements.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll do it with pleasure. Let's bow our heads. Father, we come to you in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Thank you for all the blessings that you bestowed on us in the past. And I'm asking you that you will bless us today in this meeting so that we will make the right decisions and so that our people in George will benefit by it. Lord, I'm asking you that you will enlighten us with the Holy Spirit so that we can do the work that we must do. Bless our speaker, bless our mayor and all the Mako and all the colleagues and all the staff of the municipality, the MM and her staff, And I'm asking you that you will guide us and lead us in your precious name. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the Executive Mayor, Alderman Leon van Wyk, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Raven Fichland, as well as the Chief Whip, Councillor Marlene Barnard-Viljoen, and then also the Aldermans Gericke, Alderman Petrus, Alderman Kritzinger, and all the councillors present, as well as the administration. I'm going to start off immediately with the attendance register. I'm going to call out your name. If I could ask in the meantime that the administration takes this opportunity to give their presence in the chat box so that we can get this done as speedily as possible. I'm going to start off with the councillors. Councillor Adams.
Morning, everyone. I'm present.
Thank you. Councillor America.
Good morning, Speaker. Present.
Councillor Barnard.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Brown.
Morning, Speaker. Present.
Councillor Buys.
Morning, Speaker. Teenwoordig.
Councillor Clark.
Good morning, Present.
Councillor Cronje.
Good morning, President.
Councillor Du Toit.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Eso.
Teenwoordig, Speaker.
Councillor Edie Fichland.
Good morning, Speaker. Present.
Councillor R.G. Fichland.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Fry. Councillor Fry.
Goedemorgen, Speaker. Teenwoordig.
Alderman Gericke.
Yeah, morning, present.
Councillor Gom. Councillor Gom. Councillor Greef.
Goedemorgen.
Present.
Sorry, is that Councillor Gom?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Gultig.
Councillor Gultig, present.
Councillor Hani.
Ani, present.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Hector. Councillor Hector. Councillor Hazer.
Goedemorgen, Teenwoordig.
Councillor Hill.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Jantjies.
Good day, Speaker.
Thank you. Councillor J.E. Councillor J.E. Sorry, somebody's talking. Councillor J, is that you?
It's not me. Thank you.
Councillor Johnson.
Good morning, Present, Speaker.
Councillor Kleinhans.
Morning, Speaker. Teenwoordig.
Alderman Kritzinger.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Kruger.
Kruger, present.
Councillor Lento.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Lose.
Morning, Speaker. Present, Speaker.
Councillor Lowe. NM. Councillor NM Lowe. Councillor Lowe RMI. Councillor Mantere.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Mbete.
Morning, Speaker. Morning, everyone. I'm present, Speaker.
Councillor E.T. Mdaka.
Morning, Speaker. Morning, everyone. Present, Speaker.
Thank you. Councillor F. Mdaka.
Gikhona.
Thank you. Councillor Mkule.
Khona.
Thank you. Councillor Pamile.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Neetling.
Present, Speaker. Good morning.
Councillor Niehaus.
Môre Speaker, teenwoordig.
Councillor Tondini. Councillor Tondini.
Present, Speaker.
Alderman Petrus.
Môre Speaker, teenwoordig.
Councillor Katana.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, Speaker. Thandiswa Katana present.
Councillor Roofse.
Good morning, everybody. Councillor Roofse present.
Councillor Suffers.
Good morning, everybody. Speaker, present.
Councillor Sabtu. Councillor Sabtu.
Speaker, if I may, Barnard here.
Yes.
I've just received a WhatsApp message to say that the councillors from Good are battling to log in. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll come back to them. Councillor Simmers.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Smart.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Snyman. Present. Councillor Titus. Councillor Titus. Councillor Toto. Councillor Toto. Councillor Van Niekerk.
Speaker.
Present. Councillor Toto, Speaker present. Sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Titus, is he there?
Speaker. Somlomo.
Sorry, who's speaking?
It's Councillor Toto, Speaker. Just want to bring it to your attention in ITs or through you, Speaker, that some of the councillors of the ANC are struggling to join the meeting as well. Can you please assist us? Thank you.
Can that message please be passed on to IT to contact them, please? Thank you. Councillor Alderman van Wyk, sorry.
Good morning, Speaker. Present.
Councillor van Brandes.
Present, Speaker.
Councillor Wessels.
Present, Speaker.
And Councillor Windwy.
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much. If I could ask IT to continue trying to get the councillors that are currently not available or online, to get them online or to assist them with that, please. In the meantime, I'm going to be going on to item 1.2, applications for leave of absence from councillors. Chief Whip.
Morning, Speaker. I haven't received any apologies. Thank you.
And from the MM.
Speaker, I received apology from the Director Corporate Services, Mr. James.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 2, disclosure of interest of councillors for item 5 of the Code of Conduct for councillors and a disclosure of benefits by municipal staff members, item 5 of the Code of Conduct for municipal staff members. Any declarations? Please take note, nobody has made a declaration. We'll move on. Item 3, matters of the discretion of the Speaker. I'd like to take this opportunity. Sorry, if you can just make sure that your microphones are off. I'd like to take this opportunity, first of all, to say thank you to everybody for the last few meetings. It is our last meeting for 2021. All councillors should by now have received the Code of Conduct and the Rules of Order. I will go ahead and make every effort to abide by those rules, and I'm asking councillors to please take careful note of those rules of order, as we need to get some discipline and make sure that we serve the community. With special reference to items 3, 4, and 13, and also items 27 of the rules of order. Having said that, I'd like to continue. That's the end of my little speech for today. And in the meantime, I'd like to then continue with the order of the day. Reports to council, item 4. There's no debate, according to the speakers list, on items 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and 4.6. Am I correct in assuming, taking that?
Yes, Speaker, you are correct. It's because the Mayor simply needs to read out the names of the various committees.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Can we therefore start with 4.1?
Thank you, Speaker. In 4.1, we are dealing with the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, MPAC, and the committee members are as follows. And I will.
Sorry, Alderman van Wyk, do you have a hand up? Just for I'm not sure whose hand it is. What is the point of order? Sorry. Can somebody assist me with the hand?
Councillor Faith Mdaka.
Okay, Councillor Mdaka, what is your rule of
Speaker, masingagezeleki aba IT, because our comrades are struggling to get in. Now,
how many councillors are struggling to get in? And if I may ask, Councillor, when was this reported to IT? Because we've had more than sufficient time. I know that a lot of your councillors came to the office yesterday and sorted out their computers. And at this stage of the game, we are busy with a council meeting, and to be sitting at 10 o'clock still having no connection is. I was under the impression you were all in one venue as well. Councillor Mdaka, how many councillors are not in the meeting from the ANC then? Councillor Mdaka, nobody is muting you. I'm sitting watching the computer here. Your hand is up. Please talk.
I'm saying, Speaker, we are going to use one computer because all these people, 4 of us, cannot log in. So we are going to use one laptop.
Then I suggest, Councillor, that you put your video on so that we can make sure who's present and who's not. Otherwise, we're not sure as to whether people are leaving the meeting at any one time. If that's okay with you.
It's fine, Speaker. The person that switched off my camera must switch it on again, because my camera was on. I was told to switch it off, but someone switched it off.
Okay, I will from time to time ask you to switch your camera on during the meeting to ensure that everybody is present. Thank you very much. Can we move on? Alderman van Wyk, can you continue with your reading, please?
Thank you, Speaker. Yes, I was about to announce the names of the Municipal Public Accounts Committee. That's MPAC. The chairperson is Councillor De Tooy. Vice chairperson, Councillor van Niekerk. Then the councillors serving on that committee, Councillors Brown, Fry, Gultig, Gritzinger, Kleinhans, Smart, Toto, and Lento. Then I move on to the Section 79 committee, which is the GIPTON committee, the George Integrated Public Transport Network Committee. The chairperson is Councillor Niehaus. The Vice Chairperson is Councillor Fichland. The members of the committee, Councillor Johnson, Councillor Mbete, Councillor van Niekerk, Councillor Syfers, Councillor van Brandis, Councillor Smart, Councillor Mdaka, Councillor Kleinhans, and Councillor Jacques Isaac. So that deals with 4.1 being the Section 79 committee's Speaker.
Thank you very much. Can we have, is that noted?
Noted, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Can we move on to items?
Speaker, môre.
Môre.
My hand is op as Councillor J van die Good Party. Ons het bietjie probleme gehad om in te skakel. Ons het probeer om, maar ons is almal hier. Ons gaan van een device afwerk, die hele Good.
Can you, thank you very much, Councillor. Could you please report your attendance, each person individually, please? Councillor J.
Yes, present. Kom.
Councillor Saptu, present, Speaker. Goeiemôre.
Councillor Inlow, present.
Councillor Rosa Low, I see your hand is up.
Yes, present.
Thank you. I therefore take it everybody at that computer is now present. In the same light as what I said to the ANC, I will be asking you from time to time to put your camera on to make sure that everybody is in attendance. Thank you very much. Alderman van Wyk, can you please continue with item 4.2?
Thank you, Speaker. These are the committees that are the Section 80 committees. The first committee is Civil Engineering Services Committee, dealing with the operating aspects. Chairperson, Councillor Johnson. Vice Chairperson, Councillor van Brandis. Then members of the committee, Councillors Adams, Kritzinger, Kruger, Neetling, Marukuli, Gerike, Nkamili, and Toto. The Civil and Engineering Services Committee dealing with capital projects and the BFI project. Chairperson, Councillor van Brandis. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Johnson. Members of the committee, Councillors Barnard, Brown, Hill, Wessels, Hector, Smart, Kleinhans, and Esau. The Electrotechnical Services Committee, the Chairperson, Councillor Mbete, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Cronje. Members, Councillors Jantjies, Losse, Alderman Petrus, Councillor Windwaai, Councillor Gom, Councillor Heiser, Councillor Inlow, Councillor Intondini, S. Intondini. Community Services Committee, that's the Refuse, Environment and Parks aspect. Councillor Syfers, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Brown. Members, Councillors America, Alderman Kritzinger, Councillor Katana, Councillor Windwaai, Councillor Buys, Councillor Titus, Councillor Gom, Councillor F. Mdaka. Community Services Committee, Social Development, Libraries and Sport. Chairperson, Councillor Adams. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Rolfse. Members, Councillors Clark, E. Fichland, Councillor Simmers, Councillor Windwaai, Councillor E. Eric Mdaka, Councillor Yeh, Councillor Hrief, and Councillor Esau. Protection Services Committee is Chairperson is Councillor Clark, Vice Chairperson Councillor Gultig. Members, Councillor Fry, Councillor Murray, Councillor Mbete, Councillor Simmers, Councillor S. Ntondini, Councillor Alderman Gericke, Councillor R. Rusalo, Councillor Lento. Moving on to Planning and Development Committee, dealing with planning, building, control, properties. Chairperson, Councillor Hill. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Wessels. Members, Councillors Barnard, Fichland, Fry, Niehaus, Kleinhans, Sapto, Esau, and Councillor Toto. The Planning and Development Committee dealing with human settlements aspects, Chairperson, Alderman Petrus, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Losse. Members of that committee, Councillors America, E. Fichland, Jantjies, Katana, Nkamele, Smart, Yay, and Esau. Then moving on to the Finance Committee. That is Finance Strategic Services, Chairperson, Councillor Wessels, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Reuben Fichland. Members of the committee, Councillor Barnard, Clark, Du Toit, Kruger, Van Brandes, Alderman Gericke, Councillor Sapto, and Councillor Lento. Then Corporate Services Committee, that includes Human Resources. Chairperson is Councillor Neetling, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Seifers. Members of the committee, Councillor Cronje, Gultig, Alderman Petrus, Councillor Roelofse, Councillor E. Mdaka, Councillor Smart, Councillor Kleinhans, and Councillor Marukli. That's those members of the Section 80 committees. Then other committees that we have, let me just proceed through those. The Urban Development Committee, Chairperson is Councillor Hill, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Barnard. Members of that committee, Councillors Cronje, Fry, Niehaus, Roelofse, Gom, Smart, Councillor Titus, and Councillor F. Mdaka. The International Relations Committee, Chairperson is myself, Councillor van Wyk, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Snyman. Members of that committee, Councillors America, Katana, Van Niekerk, Wessels, Alderman Kritzinger, Councillors Smart, R. Lowe, and E. Mdaka. Then we move on to Budget Steering Committee. Chairperson is myself, Councillor van Wyk. Vice Chairperson is Councillor Wessels. Members of the committee, Councillors Du Toit, R. Fichland, Johnson, Mbete, Van Brandes, Van Niekerk, Sapto, and Lento. We then move to the Name Changes Committee. Chairperson is Councillor Brown. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Roelofse. Members of the committee, Councillors Clark, Cronje, Hill, Losse, Titus, Lento, Smart, and F. Mdaka. We then move to the Rural Development Committee. Chairperson, Councillor Fry. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Kruger. Members of that committee, Councillors Barnard, Alderman Kritzinger, Councillors Syphers, Wessels, Esau, Arnie, Heiser, and Councillor Titus. Moving on to the Social Housing Committee, Chairperson is Alderman Petrus. Vice Chairperson, Councillor Losse. Members, Councillor America, E. Fichland, Jantjies, Katana, Greef, Smart, Yay, and Mankele. Homage Committee, Chairperson is Councillor Brown, Vice Chairperson, Councillor Windvai. Members of the committee, Councillors Fichland, E. Fichland, Losse, Niehaus, Simmers, R. Low, Gom, Heiser, and Mankele. I just want to check if there's any other one that I think that covers those committees. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Alderman van Wyk. I see there's a recommendation. We therefore need a seconder. Just somebody to second that.
Second, thank you, Speaker.
Okay,
Speaker.
who was that? Sorry,
Speaker,
yes. Yes.
Johan here.
Yes.
I've just been alerted. You as a speaker have been nominated on the international committee. It's never happened before that a speaker has been nominated to serve on a committee. I just wanted to alert you to that. This has never happened before.
I take note of that, and I was just as surprised as what you were, Advocate. Obviously, yes, Alderman.
I think what I'll then do, if that is the case, then if it, Speaker, then possibly we can just replace you with the Deputy Mayor, Councillor R. Fichland. Then.
Thank you.
If that
Thank
is. That
sorry.
I just want to.
Okay, thank you very much. Who was the seconder for that? Sorry.
Councillor Gould will accept this change and accept second. Thank you.
Sorry, I've noticed that the ANC councillors are leaving the room and not at the nice thing about having the computer screen, the camera on, you can actually notice that people are not in attendance and they've left the room. We are in a council meeting, councillors, and I therefore ask that you stay in attendance for the duration of this meeting. I can see people are running out of the room on Sophisa's camera. Please, could you stay in attendance? And then I see there's a hand up. Could somebody please assist me with whose hand is up at the moment?
Rosa Low.
Councillor Low, is that
Thank you,
old
Speaker.
hand?
It's Councillor Sap.
Thank you, Councillor Sapter. What is your point of?
Yeah, Speaker. The point was unfortunately raised before I could get to that. I was waiting for the Mayor to speak finish of the same point that Mr. Van Schalkwyk has raised. I wanted to question and I wanted to ask what was the reason that you were nominated on a committee, Speaker, as that is highly unusual at this point.
Okay, so that has been resolved.
No, it hasn't been resolved, Speaker. I was asking what was the reason that you were nominated to be on a committee, seeing that you are the Speaker of the George Municipality. I'm just waiting for an answer from you, Speaker.
Councillor, the reason was given by the Alderman van Wyk. He made a mistake and it has been rectified. So therefore, I'm no longer on there. He made a mistake in placing me on that, and therefore that is the seconding has been done on that, and I'm no longer on there. So can we move on, please? I see there's another hand up from the ANC.
Speaker, we can't hear anything. We can't hear anything. I don't know what's going on. If you are going to reply to me, I can't hear anything. All of us, we are using Lando's laptop, but we cannot hear anything. What's wrong? This thing is being said. Hold
Councillor
on.
Darker, Councillor Darker, Councillor Darker. It seems that we've lost somebody there. Can IT please assist with that computer? I see Councillor Lowe's hand up again. Can we please, is it a question or is it a point of order? Councillor Lowe, is that an old hand or can we move on?
Speaker, dit is die chief ook van Good. Ek wil net sê dat hierdie sein baie swak is. Ek wil hê u moet dit in gedagte hou. So as ons aan en af beweeg, beteken nie ons loop uit die vergadering uit nie. Dit is die sein wat swak is. Neem net kennis daarvan, dankie.
Ek neem notisie daarvan. Thank you. Can we move on then please to item 4.3, Alderman van Wyk.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Speaker. These are the official representatives, Secundi and municipal officials for the SALGA governance structures for their various working groups. The first working group is the Capacity Building and Institutional Resilience Group. And I'll read then the representative is Councillor Neetling, the Secundi is Councillor Brown, the municipal official is Director James. The second working group is Community Development and Social Cohesion. The official representative is Councillor Adams, and the Secundi is Councillor Roelse. The municipal official is Director Paulse. The third working group is Economic Empowerment and Employment Creation. Official representative Councillor Wessels. Secundi is Councillor Barnard. The municipal official is Director Waring. The fourth working group is Environmental Planning and Climate Resilience. Official representative Councillor Seifers. Secundi Councillor Brown. Municipal official is Director Paulse. The fifth committee working group is Governance and Intergovernmental Relations. Is myself, Councillor van Wyk. The Secundi is Councillor Snyman. I'm just obviously checking whether that is permissible. And then the municipal official is the acting municipal manager, Dr. Gratz. The sixth working group is Human Settlements and Municipal Planning. The official representative is Councillor Hill. The Secundi is Alderman Petrus. The municipal official is Director Waring. The seventh group is Municipal Finance and Fiscal Policy. Official representative Councillor Wessels. Secundi is Councillor Deputy Mayor Councillor Reuben Fichland. The municipal official is Director Duplessis. The eighth working group, Municipal Innovations and Information Technology. Official representative Councillor Gultig. Secundi is Councillor Hill. Municipal official is Stefan Janssen van Vieren, acting IT manager. The ninth working group is Public Transport and Roads. Official representative Councillor van Brandes. Secundi Councillor Johnson. Municipal official is Director Erasmus. The 10th municipal working group is Water, Sanitation and Waste Management. Official representative Councillor Johnson. Secundi Councillor van Brandes. Municipal official is Acting Director or Deputy Director Lindsay Moyman. Okay, so that brings us to the end. I I've come to 10 committees there. Something just rings in the back of my mind as to whether there's possibly an 11th body there. I'm not sure if anyone is fully aware of that right now. I'll also just try and check on my system. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two hands up, one from the PBI. Is it a point of order or is it a point of a question?
No, Speaker, that's a point of clarity. I just want to ask you, the Executive Mayor, through you, what is the reason behind not putting any councillor from the opposition as a secondary? It's just a point of clarity. I know it's a prerogative of the Executive Mayor, as we are also representing communities. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. There's another question. Before I go over to the Executive Mayor, there was another hand up. Rosa Lowe's hand was up.
Thank you, Speaker. Possibly a point of clarity as well. It seems the Mayor isn't really very well prepared about his committees. He's not sure whether he has 10 or 11 committees, and he's not sure whether you as the Speaker can be nominated for certain committees. It's a really a concern, Speaker. My question is, there seems to be an attempt. One of the cornerstones of the office of the Speaker is fairness to the whole council. There seems to be a serious attempt from the DA side to pull the Speaker in to one specific segment of this meeting, Speaker. What is your viewpoint on that, please?
Are you talking to me directly, Councillor?
I'm always speaking through the Speaker.
Okay.
Speaker, is that incorrect?
My point on that is, Councillor, that this is the first that I've heard about it. And as I said, I was not aware of that before the time. So I'll allow Alderman van Wyk. There's another hand up. Councillor Barnard, I see your hand is up.
No, Chair.
There's another hand up. I'm not sure whose hand it is.
It was my hand, Elder Lady Kritzinger.
Elder Lady Kritzinger, do you have a point of clarity or a point of?
Yes, I just want to make 100% sure. When it comes to
is it a question?
Yeah, it's a question that I would like, as far as the latter speaker, regarding the questions posed to the Speaker, because as far as my knowledge is concerned, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, you don't take part in the conversations on the table in the discussion. So I think he must redirect it to somebody else, or through you to somebody else, because speakers don't answer questions when it comes to these things. We've got officials and we've got the Mayor. And
Thank you, Elder Lady Kritzinger, 100% noted. Thank you very much. Alderman van Wyk, could you just reply to those questions and we'll move on, please?
Yes, the whole motivation behind SALGA and the working groups there is that the MMCs are represented at provincial level, that they understand what the overall thinking is within the province, and then by and large the deputy chairs on the mayoral committee then become secundi in most of these cases to be able to deal with these matters. And as one will notice that the way these municipal groups are set up, it often crosses more than one portfolio, and therefore it has been done on that basis to make sure that your MACO members are fully aware of what is taking place in the thinking and the development processes that take place within the SA Local Government Association.
Thank you, Alderman van Wyk. Sorry, there's a hand up again. Is that Councillor Jay or who's that now? Is it a question? Councillor Jay, you have a question?
Yes, nee, nie 'n question nie, net 'n comment. Dit wat die Meyer gesê het is
Councillor, we can't make comments. We need to ask a question or have a point of order. We need to have some sort of discipline.
Okay, my question.
You can't just make a comment, unfortunately.
My question. My question is, ek verstaan nie wat die Meyer nou daar gepraat nie. Ek verstaan nie, sy antwoord wat hy gegee het is onaanvaarbaar. En dit is soos my vorige spreker gesê het.
Okay, Councillor, that's not a question, that's a statement. Thank you very much, Councillor. That's not a question, that's a statement. Can we move on, please?
Hy interrupt.
Okay, Councillor, get to the question, please. You made a statement before you made your question. We're going to stick to the rules. You ask a question without making a statement, please, and then
Okay, Speaker, ek wil gee ons moet mekaar respekteer. Ek wil nie, jy moet my interrupt while ek op die vloer besig is, want ek gaan nie u interrupt as jy op die vloer besig is nie. En dan volgende, ek wil nie hê u moet al die antwoorde gee nie.
Councillor J, you are breaking up. Ek kan nie op woord wat jy nou vir my gesê het nie, Councillor J, jy het opgebreek. En al wat ek vir u vra is, ons bly by die item. We don't deviate. You ask the question, so let's keep the question short and sweet without repetition, please. Let's respect each other. Yes.
Baie dankie, maar Speaker, ek sê, laat die Meyer die antwoorde gee. Hoekom u antwoorde gee en die Meyer is daar? Die vraag word deur u na die Meyer toe gevra. Dan moet hy mos antwoord.
Ek het so genoteer, dankie baie. Ek het dit al klaar geantwoord, dankie. En ek verstaan dit so en ek het dit so genoteer. Baie dankie. Can we move on, please? Next item, please, Alderman.
Yes, that is item 4.4, which is then dealing with appointment of councillors as representatives on external bodies. And I'll go through these various committees and institutions to which we've now declaring our representatives and our secundai. So therefore, Community Police Forum for George Buckelsdorp, Tembeletu, Conville, that is Councillor Clark. The secundi is Councillor Adams. For the George Sport Club, Alderman Kritzinger. Secundi, Councillor America. Informal Trading Committee, Councillor Mbete. And secundi, Councillor Lose. Regional Disaster Management Committee is Councillor Rayben Fichland. The secundi is Councillor Clark. The Southern Cape Electricity Forum, Councillor Mbete, and the secundi is Alderman Kritzinger. The Garden Route Botanical Garden Trust Committee is Councillor Brown. The secundi is Councillor Kruger. Badisa, the representative is Councillor Clark. Secundai is Councillor Windwai. The Harry Kumei Santa Centre Management Committee, it is Councillor Cyphers, and the secundi is Councillor Snyman. The Sport Council is Councillor Johnson, Brown Johnson, and the secundi is Councillor Cronje. The Board of Trustees of the George Museum is Councillor Yield, and the secundai is Councillor Roelfse. The Council of the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University is myself, Councillor van Wyk, and the secundai is Councillor Snyman. The Wilderness Lakes Catchment Management Forum is Councillor Barnard, and the secundi is myself, Councillor van Wyk. The management
Alderman,
board
there's a point of order. Alderman, just 1 second, please. What is the point? State your point of order, please.
Die point of order is, ek hoor die naam word, meneer, die speaker se naam word weer eens gemention op die committees.
On what point of order is that, Councillor? We have mentioned it already, and Alderman van Wyk will continue. We can...
Die feit dat daar genoeg is dat die naam gaan afkom, die Meyer noem dan ook weer die naam. Hy moet mos Wiley gesit het goed reggestel daarso, reggemaak het.
Alderman, Councillor.
En die Meyer
Alderman, Councillor. On what point of order is that, if I may ask? Where does it say that he has to change it? I'm asking you, you said there's a point of order.
Speaker.
Speaker, die Meyer het mos genoem te sê hy het 'n fout gemaak om u op te sit op daardie kommissie. Was hierdie ook 'n fout gewees? Dankie.
Speaker, these are representatives of the council on external bodies, so they're not committees within the council.
Thank you very much, Alderman. So noted.
Can I continue there?
You may continue, thank you.
The management board of MHouse is Councillor Snyman and Councillor Mbete is the Secundi. The Rosemore Dienstcentrum for Bejaardes is Councillor Adams and the Secundi is Councillor Simmers. The Public Transport Steering Committee is Councillor Niehaus and the Secundi is Councillor R. Fichland. The Rosemore Home of the Aged is Councillor Jantjies and the Secundi is Councillor Simmers. The Eden District Assesseringskommitee is Councillor Neetling as representative and the Secundi is Councillor Losse. The Eden District Municipality, PIMS, is Councillor Cronje and the Secundi is Councillor Van Niekerk. The Outeniqua Skougenootskap is Councillor Wessels and the Secundi is Councillor Kruger. The Night Shelter is Councillor Snyman and the Secundi is Councillor van Brandes. So that concludes those representatives of which we've made appointments here. If there are any additional ones, we will add those in due course. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Alderman Van Wyk. I see the hands of Councillor Kleinhans.
Speaker, it's Virgil Gericke. I arise on a point of clarity in regard to the submissions of the mayor now, because we have a very serious point that we want to raise in terms of the roles and the responsibilities of the speaker, and we need to clarify that, Mr. Speaker. This is no fight or this is no challenge. I mean, argument. This is just in terms of the relevant existing legislation, Section 59 of the Systems Act, the Structures Act, as well as the Constitution Act. The roles and the responsibilities of the speaker as defined by law, and we need to understand that the speaker adheres, oblige to the roles and that responsibilities legislatively. So therefore, it is a concern that you are appointed, whether it's Section 80, 79 or external committees.
Point of information, please.
It is a point of concern, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Gericke. Chief Whip.
Thank you, Speaker. Our order rules say that we need to be aware of irrelevance, and I'm not too sure how your role and responsibility is relevant at the moment while we're talking about representatives to external bodies. Thanks very much. Maybe our legal advisors can just assist here.
Through the MM to Advocate van Schalkwyk.
Through the MM. I work through the MM.
I'm working through the MM. Councillor Jay, if you want to make remarks, please put your microphone off. Otherwise, I will have you. Those remarks are not needed in this meeting. Thank you. Please put your microphone off if you're going to make those remarks. Through the MM to the Advocate, please.
No, Speaker, there's no problem for the Speaker to serve on outside bodies. There's no legal bar to that.
Thank you very much. That answers that question. Alderman Gericke.
Speaker. No, Speaker. With respect, the Advocate of Council puts on record that there's no impediment for the speaker to serve on external bodies. If that is the answer, it's fine. I differ, though, in terms of the legislative responsibilities of the speaker. But as long as we have that on record, we have debated that. There's no irrelevance to this. Hold on, just hold. There's no irrelevance to this. This is critical, important to the role and the responsibilities of the speaker. Thank you.
I understand, and that's why I allowed it. Thank you very much. Can we move on? I see Councillor Lowe's hand is up again.
Sub to Speaker.
Is it a point of clarity or a point of order?
In furtherance of the point raised by Mr. Gericke, Speaker, a question was raised earlier as to the mayor's exclusion of any opposition councillors in terms of serving George, in particular on some of these committees. A total exclusion. I just want this to be on the record and to be noted, Speaker, and also to be noted that we agree with the PBI on this point, that the Speaker is being drawn into external committees to serve for the purposes of the Democratic Alliance and not as a Speaker as such.
Thank you very much. Alderman Van Dyk, would you like to answer that question?
These appointments are the prerogative of the mayor, and I have consulted on the matter, and those are the representatives that have been put forward.
Thank you very much. This item is.
We accept the mayor to be one side, Speaker. Thank you.
Sorry, Councillor. Thank you very much. We therefore move on to item 4.5. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. These relate to appointments of statutory committees, so that relates to the Local Labour Forum, the Employment Equity Consultation Forum, EECF, and then the Training Committee. So the representatives, the committee members of the Labour Forum, the Local Labour Forum, we're putting forward Councillor Neethling as chairperson. And then vice chairperson is Councillor Lose, and the other representatives are Councillors Seifers, Saptu, and Toto. Then I move to the next committee, which is EECF. Once again, the chairperson will be Councillor Neethling, the vice chairperson, Councillor Mbete, and the other representatives are Councillors Gultig, Hector, and E. Mdaka. And then I move to the Training Committee. The chairperson there is Councillor Cronje, the vice chairperson, Councillor Fry, and the further members of that committee are Councillors Jantjies, Kruger, Mbete, Neethling, Nkamile, F. Mdaka, N. Low, and Councillor Hani. So that concludes those committees. We haven't, just by way of a note, we haven't dealt with the appeals committee, but we've in the past we've dealt with appeals on an ad hoc basis. And I think that is something that we can resolve and decide on in the new year to see how we will deal with that. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I see the acting MM's hand is up. Go ahead, MM.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to mention with the LLF that the chairperson of that committee is done on a rotational basis. So the employer component gets an opportunity, and then there would be one of the Imatu and then Sambu. So I note the appointment of Councillor Neethling as the chair, but it does rotate, and only every third year the employer gets an opportunity. Thank you.
So noted. Thank you very much, MM. Do we therefore have a seconder for that?
Councillor
The
Mbete.
recommendation. Councillor Kleinhans, I see your hand is up. Is it a point of order? Is it a point of clarity?
Yeah, it's a point of clarity again. Just in terms of what the municipal manager has said, it's an important point. We cannot just rush it over. the MM states, and it is a fact, I support her there, that the employer gets an opportunity every third year. It means that right from the onset now, you must now reconsider the appointment of the chairperson as stated by the mayor, if I understand correctly so.
Mayor, could you answer
Speaker,
that,
Speaker, the appointment that has been done is obviously from the employer perspective. The employer's chairperson will be, as announced, will be Councillor Neethling. At the times, totally correct in terms of the local labour forum, but we have indicated who the employer's representative would be and who would be acting as chair and who would be acting as vice chair when that period of service then comes into play in when that gets dealt with.
Thank you very much, Maya. Does that answer your question, Alderman Gericke?
No, can I ask you, let the MM guide us in this regard so that we understand this properly. In terms of my understanding, the employee should occupy the seat from the start, and then the employer comes in.
MM, could you answer that, please?
Speaker, no, the LLF determines every year on a rotational basis who the chair is. I think right now for the past year it has been the employer's turn, so next year it will be one of the unions, but it's done on a rotational basis, so they'll indicate which party can then nominate the chairperson.
Thank you very much, MM. Does that clear up your question? Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Councillor Lowe's hand is up. Yes, Councillor Subtu. Point of order, point of clarity.
Further clarity on that point. Then, Speaker, it should be noted that Alderman Gericke is actually correct. That from January it must be the employee. So there's no need to appoint a chairperson from the employer side. Thank you.
Alderman Gericke, Alderman van Wyk, I see you want to say something.
No, I don't need to say anything. I think I've made the point quite clear that we all know it's a rotational basis, and when it rotates to the employer, the chairperson that has been nominated from the employer will then be Councillor Neethling.
Thank you very much. So noted. And we've had a seconder.
Speaker, before we have a seconder, we are becoming confused on this point now, Speaker, because the mayor is insisting on appointing a chairperson on a committee which is at this point should be chaired by the employee. That is causing confusion. Or is the mayor insisting that we break the rules or the constitution of the LLF? Just clarity on that, Speaker.
I think let us just be quite clear. We are the employer body. The employer body has put its 5 names down as its representatives on the local labour forum. The chairperson of the employer component is Councillor Neethling. So we are not dealing with the appointment of the forum's chairperson.
Thank you, Councillor Alderman van Wyk. I think that makes it pretty clear. Can we therefore have the seconder then, please?
Yeah, well done, guys. Thank you. Otherwise, thank you.
I so second, Chair.
Thank you very much, Alderman Kritzinger. Can we therefore move on to item point 4.6, please?
Yes, thank you, Speaker. This deals with appointment of other committees, and the item that we have before us is a disciplinary committee for councillors. In the past, we've adopted a process where we appoint these committees on an ad hoc basis, as with the appeal committee that we did. In the new year, I believe we should be looking very closely at an ethics and a disciplinary committee that we put together, and the whole code in terms of the ethics and the discipline of councillors. And in establishing that committee, we are then proposing that at that stage we will constitute a committee and secundai to serve on such committee. So I believe we can hold that in abeyance. Later in this agenda, we will dealing with disciplinary matters, where included in that recommendation, we will be making proposals as to the composition of that specific disciplinary committee. So I so propose.
Thank you, Mayor. I see 2 hands up. I'm not sure whether they're old hands or new hands because they just don't seem to be going down. Councillor Kleinans, I presume that is Councillor Gericke. I don't want to be presumptuous. Is that an old hand or is it a new hand? Councillor Lowe.
Sorry, Speaker, hand down.
Okay, your hand down. Thank you. Councillor Kleinans, is your hand up or is it down?
Sorry, Speaker, it's down.
Thank you. Could we then remove it? Councillor Kritzinger, Elder Lady Kritzinger.
No, sorry, Speaker, that was an accident. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's still 1 hand up and I can't see whose it is. If it is not necessary, please put it down. Make sure that all your hands are down. We're moving on to the confidential items. I therefore ask that we have a 10-minute break to ensure that the YouTube channel is switched off and that everybody that is in the meeting is therefore allowed to be in the meeting. We will resume at 11:50. Yes, Councillor.
Sorry, was it necessary for somebody to second the last item, or was not necessary?
As far as I could see, as far as I know, somebody did second it. Sorry, I might be wrong. Rosemary did. Thank you very much. Do we have a seconder if necessary? There's still a hand up at Goods Computer. We're going to recess. We're going to leave the meeting now and we re-adjourn at 11:15. Thank you very much. It's also time to have a body break. So if you need to go for a body break, now's the perfect time to go for one. I will see you back at 15:15. Thank you.